What's up, guys? Gaonan here, and welcome to episode 4 of Drafting to Masters. I hope you guys have been enjoying the previous episodes from this season. If you've missed any, I've included the playlist in the top right corner of this video. Also, I just want to say if you are enjoying the content, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. That way, I know that you're enjoying the content, and it helps me grow the channel. Any of your support is greatly appreciated. At this point, I just really want to hit diamond and continue going through this climb to masters. So let's get into this next draft. This is a good looking first pack. We've got some interesting options here. I would say Fenris Nightshade is worth considering, Linebreaker Shield is worth considering, Living Example is good, as is Peacekeeper's Helm. If you've watched this series for any amount of time, in general, when I feel that the power level of cards is fairly equal, I like to take the rare to see how it feels so that I can have a better evaluation of it going forward. And in this case, I think Fenris is pretty on par with Living Example. The ability to draw extra cards in a limited format should not be taken lightly, and it's an aggressively statted 2-drop. So I'm going to pick Fenris here over the Living Example. Linebreaker Shield is reasonable as well, but I just don't like committing to a 2-faction card right off the bat most of the time. So Fenris it is for me. So here, Lethrai Target Caller probably makes the most sense since we had Fenris pick 1. Longhorn Treasurer is better the earlier you get it. Learned Herbalist is also a good card, but I think Lethrai Target Caller outshines both of those. Corrupted Umbran is one of my favorite commons in this set, and happy to pick it up here. Other options could be Saddle Up or Rotor Cycle, but I like Corrupted Umbran a lot, so I'm going to take it. So we've got a lot of good time cards coming through, some decent primal ones, and even some good fire ones as well. A little concerning that there are no shadow cards here, but that could just be an anomaly. I'm actually going to take this Hot Blood Barbarian here. I think it pairs really well with the Target Caller and is just an aggressive 2-drop that I have become very fond of. So Illumination Wisp is definitely a reasonable pick here, as is Pensive Lumen, and I think those are the 3 cards you should be looking at. Here there's no real fire or shadow card for us. We've got Entangling Vines and Pensive Lumen, and this time around I'm going to take the Pensive Lumen since we've seen 2 in a row now, and hope that we continue to get some decent time cards. A third Pensive Lumen in a row is pretty crazy. I'm not upset at taking Hair Trigger Pistol either. I think either one of these is reasonable. Even the Temple Standard is good. For me, I'm going to take the Hair Trigger Pistol just because it combos well with Corrupted Umbran, and I think that might be important for this deck. I'd say Primeval Plover is better than Spore Breath and Core Scavenger. Pretty late Sheriff's Hat, very late Secret Weaver. Could be a sign that Primal is open, so maybe worth taking here. It is a 3/3 for 3. But at this point, I'm just going to take the Plover, and we'll see if the Primal cards continue to come through. Nothing too exciting here. I'll just take a Gibbering Jackal. Death Strike is like the worst of the killer effects, but it is still removal, so I'll take it here, but we likely won't play this. Lots of Primal cards coming through. We'll take Gale Prowler here. Ground Form is fine, and Elementalist. So we're kind of all over the place at this point. Could really be anything. We really like our Shadow the most. Our time is okay. Our Primal, don't really want to be there. I'd say these are like the cards that we would want to play, and if forced to play, we would play this and this too. So we're pretty open. I would say Shadow is the only place we're really committed, which is good because we have very strong cards here with Slay and Rooftop Vigilante. I think those are the 2 cards to be looking at. And for me, I like Rooftop Vigilante more than I like Slay, I think. I just tend to prefer to be very aggressive, and Rooftop Vigilante can win games on its own, and Slay is just an answer to your opponent's question. So I'm going to take the Rooftop Vigilante here. So there's nothing in Primal that we want to splash for. Topple Tower is not super exciting for us. Not really excited about Oni Gunright. Argenport Soldier is a solid 2-drop. Rooftop Vigilante gives us a reason to want to be in Argenport. Granite Acolyte is also solid, but I'm going to take the Argenport Soldier here and continue down this Argenport path. Wow, lots of good Argenport cards coming through. I think Finest Hour is the best, followed by Minotaur Oathkeeper, and then probably Banner. Porter's reasonable too, though. These are both good for our deck. I like Xenon Destroyer and Slumbering Stone. It pairs very well with any sacrifice effects or anything. A 2/2 flyer can win you some games, so I think I'm going to take the Slumbering Stone over the Xenon Destroyer here. None of these cards are super exciting for us, so I think I'm going to take the Emerald Waystone. Other option is really Duskcaller, and I guess I'll actually take it here over the Waystone just because we don't have any relic weapons at this point to take advantage of the Emerald Waystone, and Duskcaller does help us inspire more guys, so we'll take Duskcaller. Desert Marshal is always good. Also, the 2 banners that you would want to splash it are in this pack. Xenon Guardian is here, as is Strength of Many. So, given that I want to be in Argenport, I'm going to take Strength of Many here and just kind of ignore these other time cards. Privilege of Rank, I don't think we're going to be getting to those levels of power, so I'm just going to take Cover of Darkness as a potential finisher in this deck. Madness is also another potential finisher. We don't have any sacrifice effects, so it's not really removal. Other option would be Kopesh, but I'm going to take the more tempo-y play of Madness here. Don't think we'll play any of these cards, but Creeper is the best one, so we'll take it. Some more autopilot picks here. We probably will play that Emerald Waystone. Alright, so let's get this a little more focused down. So this is our Argenport deck so far. Good 2 and 3 drops. And we've got an opportunity for some removal. So I like taking Extinguish. I think it's better than Entrapment. And both these cards are very good as well, but I think the removal is better in this situation. Is Hero of the People any good in our deck? We have Flying Warcry, we have Berserk Lifesteal, Quick Draw, Flying. It could be decent, but the fact that it's not always guaranteed to be good versus Dark Return, which I think is almost always guaranteed to be good, I'd rather take the Dark Return here. Rapid Shot is a premier trick, very good with Corrupted Umbran, so I'll take it here. Minotaur Oathkeeper is a great 1-drop, so we like that. Pretty interesting to see another Desert Marshal here. Bellower is also a good 2-drop, but I like Minotaur Oathkeeper more. Infuse Strike would give us another trick. Strength of Many is another trick as well. I think Strength of Many is better than Infuse Strike, but I am going to take this Oblivion Spike as a potential finisher in the deck as well. So we've already got 1 Cover of Darkness. I don't really play Protect. We could potentially take Rakano Banner in case we want to splash something like Welding Torch if we get forced into that situation. I think I am going to take Triggerman though. We do have Rooftop Vigilante, that is a gunslinger, and maybe we see some others here towards the end. So just going to take the Triggerman rather than a late Rakano Banner to maybe play Welding Torch. Unseen Agent is a pretty good 2-drop in this deck. You need evasive threats to win, and Unseen Agent is a pretty good one. To Take the shiny Sarasaur. We'll take the Xenon Banner. Hourglass. Flashy Duelist will make the deck. And Cabal Slasher will make the deck. Wow. Thief's Pick is a bomb. Even better than Master at Arms and Peacekeeper's Helm, so gonna take Thief's Pick here and be pretty happy about it. So we've got some choices here. We've got Back Alley Delinquent, Sky Crew, and Cut Ties. I think I'm looking at Cut Ties here just because we don't have a ton of removal in this deck. We've got Tricks, which can kind of act like removal, but Extinguish is really all we have at the moment. So I'm going to take this Cut Ties here over the Delinquent and the Sky Crew. So we've got some choices here between Saddle Up, Hair Trigger Pistol, and Sky Crew. As far as tricks, we have Finest Hour, Rapid Shot, and Strength of Mini, so I don't think we need Saddle Up. I think it would be the worst of those three. Not that you can't play more than three, but and we already have a Hair Trigger Pistol, so I am going to take this Sky Crew as, you know, some late game flood protection and gives you a way to close out games too. Before we make a pick here, let's count the bodies just to make sure we don't need this Dagger Claw Howler. Otherwise, I think the pick is just Saddle Up. Yikes, so we only have 13 units right now, 14 if you count Dark Return, so definitely have to take Dagger Claw Howler here. I didn't even follow my own rule of once you get to pack 4, make sure you count your units so you understand where you're at and can figure out what you really need to shore up in the last pack. So bad on me for doing that, but yeah, we need to take units at this point. Shadow Stalker is premier unit, as is Corrupted Umbran. I think I will just take a second Corrupted Umbran here, but it is hard to pass up the Shadow Stalker, just because I do think we have a couple of ways to make sure it continues to get in with the Unseen Agent, the Dustcaller, and Extinguish, and Cover of Darkness for that matter. But Corrupted Umbran is just such a strong card, and always happy to see it. So we'll take a second Sky Crew here. Not super happy about it because we're getting kind of heavy on the 4-drops, but at this point we have 15 units. This will be 16, so we have to take it. Delinquent is better here than the other two options, so we'll have that. Crown Watch Recruiter could be okay. I think it's better than the other two cards for us. Another Delinquent is fine. Don't think we'll play Spell Sword or Lunging Wisp, but we may play Coronal Umbran. Alright, so last draft was kind of like a mono primal deck. This one is more of a mono shadow deck, and we did make it to 20 units, so we have some cuts we can make as far as units. I think all our attachments are good, our spells. The only one I would think about cutting is probably Madness, just because everything else seems pretty dang relevant. I think this is going to be another 17 power deck, and so that means we just need 3 cuts at this point. So I think Madness is going to be the first one, and then we'll do 2 units and we'll be good to go. As far as units, Triggerman can play because we've got 2 Delinquents, we've got Flashy Duelist, and we've got Rooftop Vigilante, so that's plenty of gunslingers to potentially bond him out. So I'm going to get rid of this Crown Watch Recruiter here, because it is very similar to Sky Crew in the fact that it's just going to be a big butt that kind of holds the ground while we do other things. Definitely keeping the Corrupted Umbrans. I think one of these 3-drops can probably go. And I don't think we have any Wisps. So Coronal Umbran is just worse than Dustcaller because we do like the Nightfall for some extra draws. So we've got 17 power at this point. Let's get the power added to the deck. So we've got the Waystone, then we can just add the rest. We only have 7 Justice cards, but I still think a 10-7 split is reasonable. I guess most of our Justice cards don't really care if we play, like, we want to play Oathkeeper and Vigilante on curve. double shadow on 2 and 4. So yeah, I'm going to do the 10-7 split just because we would like to make sure we hit Rooftop Vigilante on curve if at all possible. That's really the one we care about hitting the most. Just want to close by saying thanks for watching the drafting and deck building portion of episode 4. I hope you'll join me in the next video to see how the deck actually performs.